Alright, hi. Conrail, the book, car inspection, repair, general information. Conrail, the book, general information. Alright, Conrail, Central Region Transportation Guide for Car Inspection and Repair, issued January 16th, 1980. All employees of the M and Motor of Equipment, the department of the governed by the safety rules set forth in the booklet S7D, which are each of the rules important. Some will be impertinent than others. Report an injury immediately supervised and responsible for the instruction, safety, performance of the under this jurisdiction must take the necessary action to know to comply with the rules. 3. Use of drug and alcohol while on duty in 8-hour periods prior to going on to the duty is prohibited. Wearing proper clothing. Look for when you are going, where you are going. Keep in mind on your job. Keep an area clean of good housekeeping. Use proper lifting and pushing, pulling, and method. But 9. Be certain to track the properly protected before the following equipment. 10. Give unprotected equipment minimum of 10 feet clearance. 11. Wear proper eye protection. 12. Use proper tool for the job. 13. Be careful placing hands and feet so they can be caught and so they cannot be caught in objects by being handled. Our table of contents, periodical time limits, designation of location of freight cars, status of the repairs known as the ABCs, freight car truck components RB, freight car truck components friction, disassembly assemble of a 70-ton freight truck, maintenance and manual bay of barber truck, nomenclature for wheels and axle and hopper cars, wheels and markings, wheel defects, steel wheel gauge, wheel out of gauge, wheel failure report, coupler identification, part identification. American Association of American Railroad couple shanks and knuckles nomenclature. American Association Railroad couplers body nomenclature. Brake shoe wear limits hand brake TTX cars truck bolster side frames brake frames single car testing device outline single car testing device code of test. Procedure of cleaning air AB type brakes on the repair tracks. Piston travel the slack adjuster test procedure. AB freight equipment with ABW for control valve. AB freight brake equipment. Air brake valve identification of the freight. Initial terminal test. Run through a 500-mile test. Instruction safety inspection. Car inspections. Inspection safety instruction. Train crew. Fundamentals affecting the train operation. Automatic brake valve handling position. Brake gauges. Multiple unit piping trailing line. Air connections. Air slips. The MP261C with run through the MP262. Implementation weather. Car limits. Emergency repair. AD 1920-85. Servo instructions. Hot box detector. Recommended procedure for the periodic inspection. Trailer hitches, train maintenance alert, brake shoe, brakes rigging adjustment rules governing the loading and securement of the closed trailers and containers of the trailer on flat car, container on flat car, serve the general rules for governing the load of the cargo shipments, commodities, closed car, general rules governing the load of the commodities and open top cars, dangerous commodities, instruction inspection cars for commodity unloading, peer deemed values, lightweight freight cars. Status code of the CD5 and CD5D, caboose listings, information of the locomotive fleet, fuel consumption, locomotive table, the consumption, locomotive permissible tonnage division, maps, freight schedules, central region, derailment investigation procedures, reporting derailment, side swipes, etc., damage prevention department, radio information calendar, frequently called numbers and notes. Alright, limit periodicals. The AB brake, 72 months. ABD and ABDW, 168 months. The AB hose, 8 years. The in-date test line, 90 days in the shop. Single car test device, daily. Single car test device gauge, 30 days. Master weight gauge, 30 days. Caboose gauge, 90 days. RPK, OD, 30 M Moss stabilized. RPK, OD, 24 months. Others, RB, lubrication, 72 months. RB lube machine 30 days, non-filled lube not required, trailer hitch to 6 months, lube side doors when shop, no charge for the labor, bulkheads 12 months in the shop, tank cars and safety valve refer to the AAR interchange rule 88, caboose when one water bottles discarded after 30 days, microfic chlorinator 30 days, filter lubrication 30 days, fire extinguisher 1 year, oxygen and silicone gauges 1 year. Locomotive maintenance, 1 is monthly, 2 is quarterly, 3 is semi-annually, 4 is yearly, and 5 is biannually. Note the FRA inspection refer to the AR interchange rules 1 and rule 130. Regarding future change and limitation, periodic attention refer to the respective manuals. Are the destination location of the car when damage occurred with the repairs made with the following governing cars equipped with a four-wheel truck. The end of the car in which the brake shaft is located shall be known as the B end of the car. Opposite end shall be known as the A end of the car. The brake of the two has two brake shafts. The owner shall have the respective ends A and B stenciled on the car on both sides near the end, each end. 2. Facing the B end of the car with an order with the right side wheel for the journal boxes, brake beams, and other trucks parts shall be known as the R1, R2, R3, R4, Similarly, on the left side, there should be known as the left L1, L2, L3, L4, with the main structure of the car divided into 4 sections known as the BRL, BL, AR, and AL. See figure A1. Alright, so you have your handbrake, and it goes down the left side and in front, the B end of the trailer, B1, B2. BR stands for B end of the right side, 1, 2, and then AR, 3, 4, and AL, 3, 4. Left side, right side. Status of freight car repair. The following categories indicate status for the cars which may be required intention repair with the performed with the car inspections and repairmen. Are your air brake hoses, the repairs in the train, repairs in the train, arrows, brake shoe keys, brake shoes, adjustment pin, travel the box lid, closed doors, knuckle the cotter pin, train lane, brake disc, safety appliance, SOC, brake wheels, cut lever, SOC, and status 2, repair in yards, coupler carrier, iron, renewal, brake rods, doors, load, brake repairs, train line, lubrication of the handbrake, assembly, brake shoes, safety appliances, R&R, cut lever, cut lever bracket, angle cock bracket, brake levers, status 1, repair in shops, yokes, draft gears, wheels, COTs, repair overdate doors of the R&R, load repairs, body work, truck work, other periodicals, draft seals, and in-seal repairs. Know your ABCs. What are the ABCs? There are 3 items that must be checked with all cars for the repair of the track, namely the coupler inspection, handbrake inspection, journal box inspection. The ABC should be automatically performed on each of the cars as it is in first man for repairs. A. The coupler inspection. Inspect the couplers for cracks and fractures. Inspect the yoke for the cracks and fractures. Inspect the coupler for the draft arrangement, 1 inch free with the slack allowed. Inspect draft gear, follow their plates. Inspect coupler shank and the cross key wear. Inspect cross key retainer lock and cutter key. Check the coupler contour. Check the knuckle wear. Check the coupler height. Check the toggle clearance. Check the anti-creep. Use the coupler release lever. The handle only does the knuckle properly open without using the hand. When using the hoisting equipment, know what you to do. What you want to do, be secure it item properly, use correct signals. 14. Use proper ladle scaffolding when working above the ground level. Do not jump from cars or platforms using ladders. Do not set with the condition when it will start with the start and feed fires. 16. Only qualified personnel should work on electrical equipment. Page 1 of 2. Handbrake. Apply handbrake. Check the bell crank position. Check the snugness for the shoes against the wheel. Check for the worn shoes. Brake rigging in general. Oil all gear handbrakes. Release the handbrake. C. Lubrication. Inspect lubricator pad for position worn or torn condition. Inspect journal bearings for the brake. Broken lugs, collars, or lining. Check journals for feeler hooks with the cuts and pitted with the rough journal. Check the journal wedges to make sure that they are seated on the top of the box and not distorted. Check all the journal box lids. Check all the box for free oil with half-inch if necessary. Note if the journal boxes are to be repacked or if the trucks are to be dismantled. Above the work can be done at the time of the same. Alright, freight car truck components. Let's just go joist, brake beam lever, brake beam rod assembly, journal wedge, casters, boiler springs, journal wedge, central rolling bearing, center plate, side front stress bearing, Alright, let me back out. I didn't see that they had that. Alright, 127 is the brake shoes, 128 is the wheel, with 129 is the axle, 130 is the truck live lever, 131 brake beam, 132 roller bearing adapter, 133 roller bearing end cap, 134 end rail cap rotating bolt, 135 end cap locking plate, 136 truck side frame, 137 truck spring, 138 truck bolster, 139 rolling bearing assembly, 140 with the truck side bearing rollers, 141 truck side bearing housings, 142 truck dead lever, 143 clevis of the dead lever, 144 clevis of the dead lever fulcrum, 145 dead lever, they another underframe mounted 145, 146 center pin, 147 center truck center plate cast iron integral with a truck bolster. All right, here you have this is your freight car truck components friction. 144 brake shoe, 145 truck side frame, 146 brake hanger wear plate, 147 the brake hanger key, 148 with the brake hanger bracket with the cast integral side frame, 149 brake pin cotter, 150 truck bolster, 151 truck center plate with the cast integral with the truck bolster, 152 center pin, 153 dead lever guide bracket, the 154 dead lever guide, 155 truck lever, 156 bottom rod safety support, 157 axle, 158 truck side bearing roller, 159 truck side bearing with a roller guide, 160 wheel, 161 journal box lid, 162 journal box cast integral with the truck side frames, 163 top spring plate with a 164 truck spring, 165 bottom spring plate, 166 journal box lid hood, 167 journal box lid spring, 168 journal box lid, 169 journal bearing wedge, 170 journal lubricator, 171 journal bearing of the or journal brass, 172 dust guard cap, 173 dust guard, 174 dust guard wedge and plug, 175 brake beam truss and rod, 176 bottom brake rod, 177 the brake beam safety support, 178 with the brake beam strut, 179 live truck lever, 180 brake beam compression member, 181 brake hanger and brake beam hanger, 182 brake shoe, 183 brake head. Alright, disassembly and assembly with a 70-ton unit with a brake beam with a ride control truck with a friction bearing 6.5 6 foot by 6 inches by 11 inches. In this program, you will see the proper procedure for the disassembly of the 70-ton ride control truck with a 6-inch by 11-inch friction bearing. The basic tool necessary for the repair of the trucks are the hammers, the draft pins, journal box, bearing tongs, packing hook, and ride control pin. For the start of the assembly of the truck, the load carrying bearings must be compressed with the ride control pins inserted in the hole for the bolster. They can be best accomplished by using the hydraulic press with the center bowl plate with the center plate bowl with the driving the wedges between the top of the bolster and side frame with the bolster is compressed and applied with the 4-pointed ride control pin within the hole for the bolster with the skirt of the ride control friction casting. When you are now ready to begin assembly with the brake rigging, first the cotter pins of them must be removed from the brake rigging. The lever and the lever fulcrums and the spread bar can be removed from the truck. Move the 4 brake shoe keys with the brake shoe keys and the brake shoe. Next, the 4 journal boxes covered to remove the pins inserted with the lid to maintain with the spring tension used for the draft pin and with the hammer to remove the 4 covers. We can now remove the lubricating pads for each of the journal box from the side journal box and packing hook. The truck side must now be raised to remove the bearing wedge of the friction bearing with the journal box with the use of the bearing tongs to remove the wedge remove the journal bearing of the gripping of the log of the side of the bearing. The sides are now lowered and the bolster raised to remove the spring seat is shown. Next, remove the side bearings in the bolster and the center pin. The bolster is now lowered to the height and the side frames spread apart with sufficiently to remove the brake beams. Side frames can now be separated from the bolster and the wheels and axles rolled away. The truck is now disassembled with the various components that should be cleaned with an inspect prior to the assembly. The side frame wearing the plate should be inspected for the excessive wear of the cracks and broken weld of the bolster. Give the show here are gauged with the worn excessively that are re-welded. Bolster center plate must be inspected for the cracks and welds necessary. The bearing wedges are gauged for the wear of the hammer. The tested wheel and axle set is inspected. Sent on a Hollidaysburg lift repair with the necessary in the dirt guard the place where we are now ready to reassemble the truck. The bolster is positioned with the wheel of the axles rolled into the plate for the uniform practice for the mounting with the marking the truck side frames. Permit the pairing of the frame for the same truck with respect to the dimensions between the center of the journal of the boxes has been adapted. Bottom heads of the welded side frames indicate the variation over the normal dimension. Sides having the same number of the buttons and with one or more of the less are selected for the other use of the same truck. After selecting the correct side frame, the insert with the lubricated with the journal box of the truck side frame is properly positioned. The brake beam are lifted into place with the side frame supplied with the bolster. The bolster should now be raised to hold the side in place. The lubricated pad for the position under the axle of the journal with the packing knife. The next will be applied with the bearing of the wedges using the special bearing tongs, being careful not to scratch or damage the bearing surface and insert the bearings over the axle. Place the bearing wedge with the bearing marking with the shirt with the sieve. Properly, we are now ready to apply with the spring set with the note of the springs are of the gauge with the condemning heights. Check for excessive corrosion, pitting in areas apart with the Rule 50 with the AR field manual. The qualified spring with the dismayed up applied with the spring pockets. The boil surge load on the spring, the journal box cover should now be applied with the journal box cover of the pound Portland shield shown here and snapped and sealed with such as this and applied with the cover to remove the pins to release the spring pressure. Alright, the next step is to connect with the spread bar with the brake lever with the brake lever with the vacuum with the brake ring, inspect with the spread bar through the bolster, apply with the brake lever with the spread bar with the brake ring to the upper portion of the brake lever with the apply with the bracket with the bolster. Pins in the cotter keys are applied. Apply with the brake shoes and the keys with the next to the rivets and the side bearings caps should be checked for lift loosen or replaced with the bucking bar. Must be to ensure the rivets are driven tightly. When completed with the side bearings are placed into the cages, the center pin is inserted with the bolster. As beginning with the program, it is now necessary to press with the bolster down to remove the riding control pin from the bolster by the use of the hydraulic pressure of the wedges. Remove the pins in the truck completely. Remove the pins in the truck is completely assembled. Alright, your index. Procedure to assembly, reassemble truck. Page 2. Friction cast selector replacement. Page 3. Sides bearings. Page 4. Column wear plates welded. 5. Column wear plates bolted. 6. Column wear plates lock bolted. 7. Gauge of bolster packet restoration. 8. Wear plate of the bolster packet restoration 9. Wear plate of the bolster rocket restoration low conveyancy of 159,000 pounds rail load 10. Welding fixture of the bolster restoration 11. Gauge bolster gib restoration 12. Gauge for the side frame column repairs and distance between the wear plates 13. CPEP service notes and spring gauge spring group capacities 16. Note important proper inspection maintenance are important for the optimum truck performance graded for the car utilization. All parts shown by the manual later designed for the interchange of the parts produced earlier. Importance for your convenience selector tables in this manual have the back blank column where you can write your own railroad part numbers. Alright, how to replace the Barber friction cast iron side springs. Alright, to remove the worn friction casting of the truck with the bolster, off springs are shown. Remove the outer board corner load springs can be gained access to side bearing casting. Remove the side spring and spring cotter friction casting will drop out of the bolster pocket shown. Truck bolster removal truck bolster removal is not required for the replacement of the friction casting side bearings. The bolster removal is required for the other reasons such as the replacing column wear plates. No pinning or friction casting or special tools are needed to Barber side stabilize trucks. To install new Barber friction casting side springs, insert the friction casting into the bolster pocket, insert the special cotter, replace the side spring under the friction casting. 4. Replace the outer board corner load springs, and 5. Lower the truck bolster. Alright, your friction casting selector for the replacement. When you should replace the friction casting, limited with the wear of the indicator. Check for the condition of the Barber friction casting regularly with the friction face of the worn, limited wear of the indicators obliterated. Friction casting should be replaced to the established proper stabilization, prevention, extra downtime. The recommended that the both friction casting be replaced during any maintenance overhaul. But at the same time, check for the side bearings and hardening with the seal wear plates and replace when necessary. What friction casting type part number should I use? Alright, A show for the Barber and B show for the friction casting. There's the type 1, the single-sided spring only, type 2, single and double-sided spring, type 3, single and double-sided side spring, and type 3, single and double-sided spring. Type of the springs boss is on the bottom of the friction casting. Barber friction casting selector. Your Barber friction casting from pattern number 601C, the capacity of 40-ton AR spring D3. Type of spring boss is 1 A, 3 and 5/8 of an inch. B, 4.5, C, 7 inches. Drawing number 2236, railroad part number 604C, 50-ton D3, 1/8 types A, type spring boss, 3 3/4 of an inch by 5 inches by 6 3/4 inches. Part drawing number 2291, 606C, 50-ton car capacity D3 AR spring level 1 type of spring boss, 3 3/4 inch by 5 inches by 7 1/4 inch. 2296 D675C with the 40-ton and 50-ton with the D4 and D5 AR spring travel with the spring boss 1 3 3/4 inch 5 inches by 7 inches by 2 drawing number 2846. 678C 70-ton to 100-ton the AR spring travel to the D4 and D5. The type of the spring is 1 4 1/8 of an inch 5.5 inches and 6 3/4 inch go A, B, and C. 3027 the drawing number Alright, 609D, have the 70-ton, 100-ton, the AR spring travel today, D3, type of the spring boss, 2, 4¼ inches, A, B, 5½ inches, C, 7½ inches, drawing numbers 2 and 2295, 78C, 70-ton, 100-ton, AR spring will travel to D4 and D5, the type of the spring boss is 3, 4 1/8 of an inch, and A 5, B 5½ C 6 3/4, drawing number 3973, 76.2, 125-ton car capacity, D3, D4, D5, AR spring travel. The type of the spring boss is 4, A dimension 3 and 4 3/8 of an inch, B 6½ 7, C 3828, 1 double truss truss type trucks, 2 lower conveyances 159,000 pounds rail load, and 3 using bolster cast prior to the April 1971. Alright, your bar side springs, outside diameter A, free height of the new spring B, and condemning free height C. Alright, asterisk. Bolster cast irons before April 1971 require castings of the 670 AC for the single-sided spring applications. Alright, your Barber S2 truck and D3 springs, car capacity 40-ton, 601, single type of the B32-1. Spring number, outside diameter A, 2 1/78 of an inch, B, new height plus or minus negative 1/4, 10 1/8 of an inch, C, 9 3/16 of an inch, 50-ton, 606 C, single B31 spring number 278, 2 7/8 of an inch, outside diameter A, new height 10 1/8 of an inch plus or minus 1/4 inch, and 2 9 3/16 of an inch, 70-ton and 100-ton, 609D friction casting number single and outler, B4 21 3 and 11/16, 10 3/8 of an inch, B, C is 9 3/16 of an inch, inner B42, 422 2 3/16 of an inch, 9 3/4 plus or minus 1/4 inch, 8 and 11/16 of an inch, scrap height, 125-ton, 762 C, outer by B 423, 3 3/4 inch, 10 and 1/4 inch, plus or minus 1/4 inch, 9 3/16 of an inch C, and 125 76 C, and the inner B 422 with the 2 3/16, 9 3/4 inch, plus or minus 1/4 inch, and 8 and 11/16. Our Barber S2 trucks D4 and D5 springs. Car capacity 40-ton with the 675 single with the B33-1. Outside diameter A 3 3/16 of an inch, 11 and 1/4 and plus or minus 1/4 inch. C scrap height and 10 3/8 of an inch, 7 and 100-ton 787 C friction casting single outler. Single or outer B43, 2 outside diameter A 3 7/8, and inside of the new height B 11 and 1/16 of an inch plus or minus 1/4 inch. C scrap height 10 and 3/8 of an inch. Alright, your inner is B4 33, 2 and 3/32 of an inch. A with 11 and 3/8 of an inch plus or minus 1/4 inch is in the new height B. C and 10 and 3/4 inch scrap height, and 125-ton 762 C outer B432, 3 7/8 of an inch. A 11 1/16 of an inch plus or minus 1/4 inch, 10 3/8 of an inch. Inner B4 3442 and 13 32 of an inch of the outside diameter A. The 10 3/4 of an inch minus plus or minus 1/4 inch. New height 10 inches scrap height, and the lower deck collar D4 only 675 C single B 111 3/4 inch. A to 10 and 3/8 of an inch. B plus or minus 1/4 inch, and 9 3/4 inch scrap height. Alright, that's your Barber side springs are longer than the center spring. Alright, Barber sided S2 trucks D2, 1 and 5/8 inch springs, friction casting replace the same part number, side bearings contact. Standard car truck, the number of the recommendation spring U for the single indicates the single coil side spring, outer indicates the outer coil with the double side coil side spring, inner indicates the inner coil with the double coil side spring. Whenever the shimming required, both the side springs are centered, but the springs must be shimmed alike. Are your column wears and welded? A shows A and B's on your left, then C's in the column wear plates, and then B and A is also in your wide land view. Securing the wear plates to the side frame, welding the satisfactory weld. The following procedure recommendation: 1. Force the wear plates tightly against the column during the welding operation. 2. Position the downhand welding. 3. American Welding Society electrode grade E6016 E7016 to be used with the size consistent with a good practice. 4. Use the current as low as possible. Weld that should be built beginning with the nearest mild plate, middle of the plate, work toward the end. No preheat is necessary either with the side of the frame with wear plates. Welding may be done with a worn man-like manner with be homogeneous, free of gas, foreign inclusions. Wear plates missing, broken, and worn to less than a quarter inch should be replaced with the cracked. Wear plates worn should be re-welded. Shims that require the arm of the wear of the plates. Dimension C is 1/4 inch greater than shown in the table. Weld not to extend beyond the face of the column. Wear plates beyond the side face of the column. All column wear plates must be free of the paint before after application. All column wear plates are 3/8 inch thick and heat treated with SAE 1095 steel. Alright, drawing 279 for 1, 4 and 8 for 1. Line number 1, 41, 4.5, 8.5, 2, 4.5, 9 inches, 3, 5 and 5 inches, 8.5 inches, 4, 5 and 9 inches. 5, 5.5 and 8.5 inches. 6, 5.5 and 9 inches. 7, 7.5 and 9, 11 sixteenths of an inch. 8, 7.5 and 9, 3 sixteenths of an inch. 3, drawing number 3, 8, 29, 6.5, A, B, 9.5. Alright, column wear bolts bolted. Side frame column bolt holes 3/16 of an inch in diameter. Washer may be flat or spring type. Easy SNA lock nut number 499E120 or 419E120. The STC CO special bolt wear plate. Each wear plate must be secured by the 2 bolts from the ESNE lock plate applied within 175 pounds of torque plus or minus 25 feet of pounds, usually slight lubrication preventing galling. Alright, it shows E, and then you're centering 2 bolts and from different C, and the center from C to C, with the outside diameter B, and a special bolt is furnished by the SCTCCO. Drawing number 3994, sheet 1. 1 is A, 4.5, B to 8.5, C, 1 and 5/8. 2 is 4.5 by 9 inches by 1/78 inch. 3 is 5 by 8.5 by 1 and 5/8. 4 is 5 by 9 by 1 and 7/8. 5 is 5.5 by 8.5 by 1 and 5/8. 6 is 5.5 by 9.5 by 1 and 7/8. 7 is 7.5 by 9 11 sixteenths by 2 and 7/32. 8 is 7.5 by 9 and 3/16 of an inch by 1 and 3 and 31/32. 9 is 6.5 by 9.5 by 2 and 1 and 1/8 of an inch. Are your column wear plates bolted? Sand frame column with a 9/16 minimum thickness of the bolted hole, 3/16 of an inch diameter, flange collar with the LWP 3LC 2R16 or the special lock note number the C50 LPT or BR1612 with an 80 BR116 WP. Wear plate DRG 47. Each wear plate must be secured with the 2 lock notes, flange colored with clamped lock notes, power driven with a pulling tool. Also on your side, column wear plate, side frame column with a 9/16 minimum inch thickness bolt that holds 9/16 of an inch diameter, flame collar 3LC 2R16 or LP LWP 3RL 3LC 2R16 lock bolt C50 with L90 with the BR1612 the wear plate DRG 4377. Alright, to the left, we'll do the left wear lock bolted. Drawing 42, 47, 1, 4, this reads A, line number, and then 1 through 9 through A, B, and C inches in diameter. 1 is 4.5, 8.5 by 1 and 5/8. 2 is 4.5 by 9.5, 4.5 by 9 inches by 1 and 7/8. 3 is 5 inches, 8.5 inches by 1 and 5/8 of an inch. 4 is 5 inches, 9 inches by 1 and 7/8 of an inch. 5 5 is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches by 1 5/8 of an inch. 6 is 5.5 by 9 inches by 11 1 7/8 of an inch. 7 is 7.5 by 9 11/16 of an inch, and 2 and 7/32 of an inch. 8 is 7.5 by 9 3/16 of an inch, 1 and 30 31 32 of an inch. 9 is 6.5 by 9.5 inches by 2 and 1/8 of an inch. All right, you're drawing number 43, 77, line numbers 1 through 9, A, B, C heights. 1, 4.5 inches by 8.5 by 1 5/8 of an inch. 2 is 4.5 by 9 inches by 1 7/8. 3 is 5 inches by 8.5 inches by 1 5/8 of an inch. 4 is 5 inches by 9 inches by 1 7/8 of an inch. 5 is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches by 1 5/8 of an inch. 6 is 5.5 inches by 9 inches by 1 7/8 of an inch. 7 is 7.5 inches by 9 11/16 of an inch by 2 and 7/32 of an inch. 8 is 7.5 by 9 30/16 of an inch by 1 32 of an inch. 9 is 6.5 inches by 9.5 inches by 2 and 18 of an inch. Alright, your gauge bolster restoration packet. Alright, this showed the gauge number to be stamped here, A, B, C down the side, and also, lengths D, E, and F in a 1/4 inch 90-degree angle. Material OH underscore dimensions are important. Where gauge contacts, this is the gauge for the bolster pocket restoration. Gauge for contacts for the pocket surface of the X of the gap extended with the 1/4 inch repair. Worn bolster pocket by application wear plate with the bill with the weld. We're using a 1/4 inch shim with the check for the gauge of the bolster. Gauge of the worn bolster pocket with the gauge of the prepared with the bolster pocket. When you for the gauge 5 with the pocket has been dotted outline Y, the 3/8 of inch shim must be inserted between the surface of the X and the gauge of the bottom surface. All bolster pockets have been dotted outline with the Y, except for the sum of the 70 and 100 ton S2B and S2B and S2BC, S2B and S2C, which have outline Z. Outline Y is shown in the dotted line. Outline Z is shown underneath that. Alright, there's a table with the bolsters A, B, C, D, and E, and F, the gauge numbers 1 through 5, and wear plate drawing numbers in line, wear plate line 1 through, show the bolster 5.9, 5.72, the H 5 inch, anyways, it shows the chart. Alright, your wear plate of the bolster pocket restoration, low convenience, 179,000 pounds railway load truck bolster. Shows the half-end view, section AA view with the C welded note number 4, which of the use of the dry low hydrogen AWS E70 electrode E7018 equivalent welding rod 532 cm maximum diameter overheating with due to the slow arc travel. Show the welding fillet weld for the C weld notes weld 2 place number 4. Wear plate material ASTM A514 type B minimum BHN 321 plate warpage must not exceed 25 thousandths over the winch. Second coat diameter. Alright, and then shows the bottom part view. The wear plate application procedure. Bullet 1, bolster surface must be smooth and true with the drive with the temperature over 50 degrees. Place for the wear plate. 2, the place of the wear plate, upper edge of the plate with the 5/16 below the top of the surface of the pocket extension, and secure with the roller clamp per drawing 4439. 3, position the bolster downhand welding. 4, use the dry low hydrogen AWS E7018 and equivalent welding rod 532 to maximum diameter over the heating due to the slow arc travel. Avoid. Weld plate and pocket with 3 places that shown with the view of the BB, and welding to be done workman-like man hours, homogeneous, free with gas and foreign inclusions. Alright, wear plate and bolster pocket restoration. Conditions illustrated are for the 100 ton of the S2 52C bolster outer barber stabilization bolster has similar with the general specifications. Your SCT drawing number 4477, capacity 40 ton, line 1, 4 and 1/4 inch A, 1 B, 1 and 1/2 inch C, 1 3/16, 3/8 of an inch, 50 ton, 1 2, line 2, 4 and 3/4 inch, 1 and 1/4 inch, 4 and 3/4 inch A, 1 B, 1 and 1/2 inch C, 1 and 5/16 of inch. Your 70 to 100 ton, line 3 and 5 1/4 inch, line 1 and 2, line A, 5 1/4 inch, B, 1 and 1/2 inch C, 1 and 7/8 of inch, 125 line number 4, 6 and 1/4 inch A, 2 1/4 inch B, and C 2 inches. Alright, you show the half-inch sectional end view AA, C weld note number 4 with a welding plate, number 2 1/4 inch of the fillet weld, 1 and 2 welds, wear plate material ASTM A5 quarter type B, minimum BHN 321 plate warpage must not exceed 25 thousandths of an inch. You have your A, B, and C, and then you have 4 1/4 inch and 34 and a half inch slope, or 12 and 16 inch 3 and 3/4 inch quarter. You set the part of the bottom plate with the wear plate application procedure. One bolster pocket must be shown to smooth the true temperature over the 50 degrees. 2 place the wear plate over the upper edge of the bottom of the seat below the top of the bolster extension is secured with the roller plate cut per drawing 4439. 3 position the bolster down head down welding with the use of the dry low hydrogen AWS electrode 7018 equivalent welding rod 5 and 3/4 inch 5 and 32 inch maximum diameter. Avoid overheating due to the slow of the arc travel. Welding plate pocket of the 3 places is shown to the view. BB welding to be done with the workman-like manner, being homogeneous, free of gas and foreign inclusions. Your welding fixture for the bolster pocket restoration. In the first top left shows the cam application A and B with the 5/16 of an inch. Also, to the left of that, you see the open position with 2 double fillet welds and two double fillet welds at 1/4 inch around the opening position and the quarter weld and the lever. The eccentric roller is 3 inches in outside diameter, 1 and 1 1/8 of an inch, and 1 inch thick. Also from a 1 and 1/32 of an inch to the center of the eccentric roller. The brake shoe sharp corners 12 inches by handle, 3/8 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch, radius of 1 and 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch thick, applied with 1 inch. Also a shaft of 1 1/2 inch diameter, 1/3/8 of an inch. C is go from the shaft size 1/9/16 of an inch on the end with 1 1/2 inch diameter and a 1 inch diameter. Alright, that's the shaft. Material SAE 4140 steel heat treated with the BHM 3641415. Alright, 40 ton has an A 1 5/8 inch, 4 and 3/4 inch, 6 and C 6 inches. 50 ton has 2 1/8 inch A, B 5 and a half, 6 and half C. 70 and 100 ton 2 38 inch A, B 5 and 3/4 inch, C 7. 125 2 7/8 inch B through 6 and 3/4 inch, C 8 inches. Low conveniency same as the S as 50 ton. Alright, gauge bolster, gib restoration. At the end of the bolster, E, D, C from the left, and then the gauge and C with the contact. Also with the gauge outline having a 3/8 inch radius on the corners with the length of coming around the sides of B, 3/4 inch, and then A, your size A and B, and 1 1/2 inches, 1 and 3/8 inch. Tolerance for the new bolster between the gibs must plus 1/8 inch minus the 0. See if the gap is 1/4 inch or more built up of the weld to fit with the gauge. Note if the bolster was cast before 1967, the dimension D should be 5/8 of an inch minimum. Build up back up with the gab E necessary. Type of the capacity 40 and 50 ton regular barber, 5/8 of an inch A and 6 B, 6 and a half inch B, 7 and 100 ton regular barber, 5/8 of an inch B, A 5 B, 7 3/8 of an inch 125 regular barber, 2 inches A, 11 and 18 of an inch, 11 and 1/8 of an inch B. Low conveniency star asterisk 1 and 3/8 of an inch A, an 8 and 3/8 of an inch B. 100 ton combination 1 inch 1 and 5/8 of an inch A, 9 inches B. 100 ton low profile combination 1 and 5/8 of an inch A, 9 and 3/8 of an inch B. 40 ton wide land 1 and 3/8 of an inch A, 7 and a half inch B. 50 ton wide land 1 and 3/8 of an inch A, 8 inch B. 7 and 100 ton wide land 1 and 3/8 of an inch A, 8 and a half inch B, for 159,000 pound railroad load. Alright, gauge side frame restoration show for the regular barb with the 70 and 100 ton from the 50 ton side, 6 and 5/8 dimensions. Also the barber wide show the 50 ton, 70 to 80, 100 ton wide load plate. And then a low conveniency combination application of the gauge and check side frame of the after the repair. Alright, your CPE center plate extension pads. Once properly applied, the center plate extension pads, not the application for the adjustment of the ideal center plate extension pad assembly preloaded Each pad with the car is on a level track. 3-2, the reshim on the new pads applied with both the pads, same structure, bolster with the loose. Reshim the spot car with the level of the track. Remove the retaining angle. Remove the shim from the underpad. Place the pads on the back of the bolster low car with the truck without lubrication in the center. Place see figure 1. Fill the spacing above each pack within 1/16 of an inch. Trick thick shim with a 14 to 15 gauge. See figure 2. The total shim need of the preload of each of the pad must be 1/16 inch more. Will go into the smallest opening between the pad and car body wear plate. Where the gap is less than 1/16 of an inch. For example, the 1/32 inch, they add 1/8 of an inch shim. For example, the 1/16 of an inch shim max inserted above the pad using a 1/8 of an inch total shim under the pad. A 1/4 inch shim max above the pad using a 5/16 of an inch total shim under the etc. C table. F. Place the proper shim under each of the pad welding retaining angle. See figure 3. 3. Maximum allowable gap between the inner contact surface of the pad at the top of its 1/8 of an inch. See figure 3. Side bearing clearance should be 1/4 inch to 5/16 of an inch for the center plate extension pad has been a shim of the A are approved. The center plate lubrication liners cannot be used when the center plate extension pads application. Replacing the center plate plate extension pads if rubber separation from the plates exceed 1 1/2 inch of the depth. And see figure 4. 7. Pads and body spacers have the part number on each of the replacement information. The wear plates are special and hardened steel available in size. Alright, shows to the left it shows the shim of the size mild steel 12 inches by plus 0 to negative minus 1/8 of an inch, and 7 inches by plus or minus 1/8 of an inch, and 1/16 of an inch 14 and 15 inch gauge. Shim accepted above pad none. 1/16 of an inch is and 1/8 of an inch, 3/16 of an inch, 1/4 inch, 5/16 of an inch, more than 5/16 of an inch. Sold shims required for the under of the pad. 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 3/16 of an inch, 1/4 inch, 5/16 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, and lower the car contact surface. Alright, shows figure 1, figure 2, and figure 3. And in figure 3, you see the 1/8 of an inch max. The figure the assertions A through the wear plate of the weld at the top of the side of the retaining angles. Figure 4 shows the 1 1/2 inch max. See note number 6. Also, section AA shows the rubber steel pad with the retaining angle of the 3/16, 7/8 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, 1 inch wide. Shim to suit the suit. This is your center plate extension pads. Alright, your AA spring group of the barber, the S2 trucks, show the spring travel to free height with the solid rate, 5 1/9 inch with the journal, 5 1/2 inch journal, 6 1/2 inch, 6 by 11 inch journals, 22,000 pounds are on the rail, 6 1/2 inch journal, 265,000 pounds on the rail. Show the single side spring dimensions, also, Alright, here's the top view of an inside quadruple hopper and the top view of an inside multiple service hopper. On the left, the side view of the quadruple hopper, and the side of the multiple service hopper, and top view of the quadruple hopper, top view of the multiple service hopper. We're going to increase this to 100. Alright, 1 is your sill step of the corner post, the end, 2 the end sheet, 3 the end slope sheet, 4 the end slope sheet side, 6 the cross ridge platform portion, 7 the side sheet, and the 8 the handbrake post, the 9 the end sill, 10 the diagonal brace, 11 center sill, 12 the axle defect card holder, 13, 14 ACI label, route card on board, 15, 16 side stake, 17 side sill, 18 body lever, 19 fulcrum lever guide, 20 brake cylinder push rod, brake pressure relief. Rod, 22 safety brake step, 23 center rod, 24 uncoupling rod bracket, 25 uncoupling rod, 26 ladder grab, 27 the handbrake wheel, 29 roping staple, 29 body bolster top shear plate, 30 striker, 31 air brake valve, 32 release valve, 33 combined air auxiliary emergency reservoir, 33 brake cylinder, 45 brake pipe, 36 bull wide fillings, 37 pipe clamps, 38 cylinder and truck lever connection rod, 39 cylinder level connection rod, 40 angle cock, 41 angle bolster and body bolster, 42 angle cock bracket, and 43 wheel, 44 bolster web, 45 hopper chute, 46 door, 47 door latch, 48 door hinge, 49 floor support connection plate to the side sill, 50 loads sills, 51 floor sheet brace, 52 corner post connector for 53 corner cap with a 54 handhold, 55 door shaft support gasket, the end type of the 56 end top of the angle 57 center sill, hold 68 top side angle 58 cross ridge floor sheeting 60 outside hopper sheet with the 51 cross ridge bracket, 62 fulcrum level the bracket, 63 brake train, 64 brake pad, 65 brake bell crank, 65 bolster tie plate, 67 clevis, 68 ratchet handle assembly, 69 chain roller, 70 ratchet handle, 71 door brace, 72 hopper chutes, and 73 longitudinal door, 74 side sill estimation ending point at the end. Association American Rail wheels and axles show the also show the front and the back. At the top shows the throat of the flange, the back of the face of the rim, the back of the rim of the fillet, the back of the hub of the fillet, and the bore of the hub, the front of the hub of the fillet, the back of the plate of the web, the front face of the rim, and the tread. And it shows A, B, C, E, D on your on your axles, A, B, C, D, E, and then backwards from F, D, C, B, G. One's a plain bearing. The left one is A, B, C, D, E, F. The plain bearing black collar axle. Left one shows a F, D, C, B, G or roller bearing raised wheel seated axle. Alright, A stands for the end collar, B stands for the journal, C stands for the dust guard, D stands for the wheel seat, E stands for the wheel seat collar, F stands for the body, and G stands for the tapered end. Nomenclature and wheel of the axles. Association of the American Railroad Wheel and Axle Manual. The wheel markings is 1978 letter serial number, design, and the month and the year of the mile for MFGR class. Plane marking ABX, rim stamping locomotive only. Wheel number, month, year, MFGR, and class, tape size. Serial number, design, month, year, MFGR class, hub stamping. Alright, condemning any time with the thin flanges of the 5 and 16 condemnable at any time, thin flange of 15 16ths of an inch thick or less, apply the gauge as follows. Thin rim 3/4 inch for the less with the 28 and 3/16 and 38 of an inch of the wheel measured as shown. Cracked or broken flange, any length of the tip of the flange must not exceed 1/4 inch and 1 1/2 inch of the length by 1 1/2 inch of the width, but not merely of the flacking strip of the cracked or broken rim, with the treading of 3 3/4 inch or less, or applying the gauge as follows. Or your vertical flange and flat vertical surface extending with 1 inch of more than from the tread, apply the gauge as follows. Or your thin simplified steel wheel gauge may be used in the checking condemning limits as shown. The thin rim of 7/8 inch or less for the 28 and 36 and 38 inch limits are measured as shown. Our wheels are out of gauge given the dimensions if less than 53 inches and exceeds 53 and 3/8 of an inch. Wheels manufactured prior to 1965 will be out of gauge if back to the back dimensions less than 552 and 15/16 of an inch. Or your load limit, the maximum permissible weight that can be loaded in the car with the calculated deduction limiting of the car of the total allowable weight on the rail applicable to axle size shown below. Or your journal size of 4 1/4 inch by 8 is of 103,000 pounds, nominal capacity of 60,000. 5 by 9 at journal size 142,000, so for the total weight of 4 axle per car, 88,000 nominal capacity. 5 1/2 by 10 inches, journal size 177,000 pounds of the total weight on the car for the 4 axle per car, nominal capacity 110,000 pounds. 6 by 11 in journal size, 220,000 pounds for the total total weight on the axle 4 per car to 154,000 pounds nominal capacity, 6.5 by 12 inch nominal journal size, 263 total weight on the railway car, 4 axles per car, 200,000 nominal capacity, 7 by 12 journal size, 315,000 pounds total weight on the rail except for 4 axles per car, 250,000 pounds nominal capacity. Alright, this is the pocket guide for reporting the car failures. American Steel Procedures has a G and A E symbol, monogram. ASTA details ASTA. Bridgeboard Corporation shows a diamond D and a star 3 in 1967. Strands Broadcasting B. None. Canadian and Steel Foundries none. ASFI ASTA K and Car ASC. A hexagon Dominion Foundry Steel D for the D, dressing, alright, why make codes? One is broken, two is, one is worn out, two is broken, three is missing, five is bent, six is bent beyond the repair, seven is obsolete material, eight is wrong, not standing on the standard to the car, 19, insufficient clearance, 33, derailment, damage for approval, 95, explanation, supplemental stopping codes, 01902 more, 2 or more friction bearing, 3 the ASF is simple side bearing, 4 the unity side bearings, 3 the center plate extension pad next to the center plate, 6 the hydraulic device between the side sill frame, the MDA, 7 the MDA hydraulics number in the spring group, 8 the struck eye hydraulics number in the spring group with 9 through 12 not used in this time. Marking location of the diagram shows the outside of the MFGR initial for the trademark of the both grades B and C steel, MFGR pattern number, type of the truck, AR code, dated cast month and year, the type of the optional location outside, inside the MFGR pattern optional, and serial number. Your type at the top of the bolster with the MSGR pattern number and the NFGR trademark with the initial of the both, the date and the month of the year, the optional location, the grade B or C steel, AR code number, optional location for the AR code number, and also the bottom of the bolster you may find the MSGR pattern number. Alright, back to the wheel marking. His design, serial number, month, year, MFGR class, plate marking, hub stamping, month, year, MFGR, serial number, classing, design, defects code, 66 flange crack broken, 68 rim crack broken, 71 rim shattered, 74 thermal crack, 83 breaking, plate cracking, 85 wheel manufacturer's markings. Well, first we're going to do class heat treatment, A, B, C, and L, with the rim treated, U, untreated, A, B, E, C, E, and L, E, entire wheel treated, U1, untreated, brake shoes, C, for composition shoe, high friction, P, for highest phosphorus cast iron irons, S, for standard cast iron, and U, unknown. Your manufacturer markings, A, stands for Armico, B, and BW stands for Bethlehem, C, and CWC stands for U.S., C and CWG stands for U.S. Steel, E and EW for Edgewater, F and FW for the Cross, Italian Laurier in France, J and JW for Medio, Japan, K and KW Klockner, Germany, L and LW Ill Slider, Italy, S and SW for Standard Steel, the PT and TW, British Steel, England, V and VW, Houston or France, Z and ZW, Canadian Steel Wheel, GC, GKJ, GC, GK, GL, GY, GI, GT, GB, GS, the Griffin, FM, Fiduciary, D, Hario, YE, Serial, Mexico, SO, ABX, Southern, and XX unknown or not legible. Wheel design and the designation, A28 and CA28 wheel rim type M and W capacity 100 tons, BN28 and CB28 M1W not over 22,400 tons per wheel, D2508 and CD28 1W not over 22,400 pounds over the wheel, A30 CAWB MW 100 capacity tons, AX30 CAX30 MW50 capacity tons, A33 and CA30 33, 1W 50 tons, CG 33, CG 33, MW 100 tons, J3, the CJ 33, 1W 50 to 70 tons, K 33, CK 33, two wheel rim type, 70 wheel, 70 capacity tons, and N33, CN3 wheel designation, wheel type rim MW 50 tons, R33C, R33 MW wheel type rim 70 tons, H36C, H36 1W 100 capacity tons, J36C, J36 2W wheel rim type 100 tons, CK36, the CK36 MW to 100 ton capacity, B38 and CB38 1W wheel type rim capacity tons 125. C38 and CC38 2W wheel rim types capacity tons 125 tons. Alright, A right here is your coupler body. Shows the A's in the background. This is a split section. They split it in half. B1 is your knuckle pin. Okay, and then B is your knuckle. D is the thrower. C is your lock bolt. And then E is your bottom lock lift. And F is your top lock lift. Your couplers A, coupler shanks, knuckles, and nomenclature. We're going to move in on that. Alright, maybe a little closer than that. Alright, 61 is top side, 62 is side wall, 63 bottom wall, 64 is butt, 65 is key slot, 66 is pinhole, 78 joining shoulder, 68 core support hole, 69 iron line, train lining lugs, 70 shank and loops, and 71 bushings. You have your rigid shank E coupler on the top, the EF coupler shank on the top and side, EF coupler shank top and side, F interlocking coupler shank on the top and side. Your coupler knuckle, once again, knuckle side, front side, guard arm side, and bottom. Your R1 is front face, R2 is nose, K pulling base, 4 throat, 5 sloughing shoulder, 6 pulling lug, 7 locking face, tail, 8 9 tail stop, 10 hub, 11 pivot pinhole pin, the 12 pin protector, 13 heel, 14 thrower, P and D thrower pad, 15 flag hole, 16 lock shell. Alright, couplers A are coupler bodies, nomenclature top, knuckle side, front, and gauge arm side, bottom, the type E and F coupler head, 1 front face, 2 knuckle side, 3 guard arm, 4 hone, 6 for lock chamber, the 6 at the top of the lock lift hole with the E and F height couplers, the 7 guard arm nose, 8 guard arm face, the 9 lock hole, 10 thrower hole, 11 drain hole, 12 rotary shaft, 13 rotary shaft wall, 14 pivot lug, 15 pivot pin hole, 16 pin protector, 17 buffaloing shoulder, 18 pulling lug, 19 knuckle tail walls, 20 lock wall, 21 lock guide knuckle side, lock guide, 22 lock guide in the guard arm side, 23 thrower arm retaining lug, 24 top iron anti-creep ledge, 25 rotary rotary operation anti-creep ledge, 26 knuckle stops, 27 lock and hole wall, 28 support shelf, 29 vertical gathering surface, 30 interlocking wing pocket, 31 locket lateral aligning surface, 32 the steam line supporting lug, 33 auxiliary interlocking lug, 34 rotary shaft hole, and 35 rotary shaft for keyway, 36 inverted pin support, 37 interlocking lug, 38 chain lug. Once again, you got your E top in for knuckle side, front side, guard arm, type 5 interlocking coupler head and bottom. Alright, 5. All friction composition brake shoes must be equipped with the projection feature for the preventing application for the brake cars, equipped with the brake heads, intent with the U for the cast iron high phosphorus shoes per correction, correct substitution figure A, correct repair, brake head, brake shoe, cast iron phosphorus, brake head, and brake shoe. Wear limits for the cast iron high phosphorus brake shoes 1.5 inch. You have your brake head and brake shoe composition high friction. Wear limits for the composition brake shoe should be 3/8 of an inch, including the brake plate. That's for your composition high friction. Alright, your brake shoes will be competition high friction 1/4 inch type H1 H1A. What can be applied? Competition high friction 1.5 inch type H2. Competition high friction 1.5 inch type H2 H2A. Competition high friction 1.5 type of the H2. Competition high friction 1 3/4 inch H3 type H3 H3A type of high friction 1.5 inch type H2. Composition high friction 2 inch type H4 and H4A. The composition friction 2 inch or 1.5 inch type H4 and H2. Remarks: apply 2 inch thickness where possible. High phosphorus cast iron, high phosphorus cast iron 1.5 inch, and remarks: there are none. All right, this shows your. This is your. This is on the right. The Echelon National D2150 group of the F the handbrake with the hand with the AN 1805. The group of the F handbrakes can be mounted above the deck on the cars equipped with the properly spaced angles. Group F handbrakes are not to be applied below the deck. Wrong. This one's the right wrong when show the wrong and the right and the wrong. Wrong. The Echelon Nation 2152 with the handle of the EN 3632 enjoy the M handbrake are not to be mounted above the deck of the cars equipped with the properly spaced angle. See note, see it below. Alright, original handbrake Echelon Nation D1 2152 with the EN 3632 handle. See note A above the right. Wrong. Type of the handbrake group F is not applied with the TTX type of the cars. These types can also be properly operated with the type cars. See note B below. Alright, and then we're going to cut the page at 50, our replacement instruction for the D2152 and the D4320 with the lever strap with the thin line brake with the note the different mounting with the configuration following the steps are necessary. 1. Remove the D2150 with the brake with the 2. Remove all the space from the mounting plate with attached with the side still. 3. Apply the existing sheet wheel with the bracket with the D4320 with the replacement brake shoe with the mounting holes A and B. 4. Re-existing mounting hole with the T and the 3/16 of an inch diameter. Secure the brake to the car at this point. 5. Position the brake so that the top of the brake handle is parallel to the deck of the car with a cut new 3/16 of an inch diameter mounting holes through the bracket attached with the brake at this point as well. 6. Weld the sleeve of the wheel bracket to the side still of the car. If not possible, weld the 3x3 by 3x3 inches by 3/8 of an inch angle. 3/8 of an inch angle with 8 inches in length of the bracket is still permanently affixed with the sheave of the wheel bracket. This is still to make certain that the position of the angles does not restrict the removal of the nuts of the mounting bolts A and B. Any questions regarding these instructions, contact the trailer train company 312-786-2000 extension 216. Your sure is A and B and C and D, the group of the M handbrake. Alright, and let's pause it for a second and I'm going to probably end it.